All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Millennial Trades. It's December 23rd, 2022. And Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. The markets today, extremely choppy. This is really all I want to talk about. Now, I didn't scalp today, but I did put on an overnight position, a weekend position, because we got a long weekend coming up. And I'll delve into that in a moment here. But markets were extremely choppy. I mean, you could see it in the price action. The bears were trying to edge it down. The bulls were trying to edge it up. We ended the day pretty much flat, in my opinion, on the NASDAQ especially. I mean, only up like 0.2% is where the futures closed. On the SPY, we're up barely 0.5% on the futures. If you look at some of these candles, I mean, it's looking a little precarious, especially on the weeklies. You've got people on CNBC calling for $100 Apple, right? Apple started to struggle a little bit today. You've had Tesla really struggling the past couple of weeks. The oil prices are up, right? For I think the second week, it's the second week of gains. And so I think some of the oil stocks were kind of holding this market up a little bit today. But I don't know if you would call this a Santa Claus rally. I mean, it doesn't really feel much like a Santa Claus rally. Like with Amazon only up 0.74%, didn't even break the opening of yesterday's close. It just looks very precarious. Even PayPal looks like it could put in another huge red candle when we open up on Tuesday. But we'll just have to see where this goes. The dollar as well, very choppy. I mean, no volatility. The VIX is way down. VIX is at like 20, not even 21 right now. The bonds were selling off. Now, bonds closed early today. The bond market closed at 2. But before that, I mean, the bonds were really selling off. So, again, if this was a Santa Claus rally, I'm not buying it. And if I'm not buying it and I don't believe in it, I have to short it. And you know, if you're long, listen, I hope it works out for you. I hope everybody makes money. You know, I hope we all make money. But I just don't believe in this rally here. Now, let's talk about the data that came out, the PCE. That's the Fed's favorite inflation metric. Personal consumption expenditure price index in the U.S. increased by 5.5% year over year in November, but it's the least since October of 2021, and it's below the 6.1% in October. So we have edged down a little bit. Even the core index declined to 4.7%, which was in line with forecasts. And remember, core inflation is really what the Fed cares about the most. It excludes the volatility in food and energy prices. So that was bullish as that was for the markets, right? You could see the markets were trying to rally off of this. And then you came out with the home sales, which rose to a 3-month high. So the housing market kind of hot, right? It says new home sales in the U.S. unexpectedly surged to 5.8% to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 640,000 in November of 2022. So housing market's still kind of hot. So this is conflicting data here. This is why the markets are pretty much neutral, right? Or chop. I like chop because that's what it feels like. It feels like chop. It doesn't feel neutral. It feels like chop. The PCE data being bullish, the new housing data being bearish, you know, because the PCE data shows that the interest rates are kind of working, but then the housing data shows that, oh, well, maybe we need to raise the terminal rate past 5%. We'll just have to see where this goes. There's maybe jobless claims coming out next week. I'm trying to think out what comes out next week before the end of the year. But I don't think the Fed has another FOMC meeting until February. So we're not really going to get any major decisions from them for like another good month. Unless I'm mistaken on that. You can correct me in the comment section down below. But that's my understanding of it. Let's see. Oh, real quick, silver and gold. Gold under 1,800 again. Silver at $23.74, so still almost near $24. Yeah, the Canadian economy stalling in November. I'm just reading some of these headlines from Trading Economics, but that's pretty much what I saw in the markets. Now, to talk about my trade, again, I didn't scalp today, just sort of positioned myself because I don't buy this. I mean, again, look at Amazon. Amazon couldn't close beyond yesterday's open. I don't think PayPal really, I mean, PayPal closed above yesterday's open, but just look at the charts here. I shorted PayPal. All right, this is what I'm doing. I'm shorting PayPal. I'm betting that PayPal is going to put in another red candle at least by Tuesday or Wednesday. So, I'm holding some contracts over the long weekend. Might be a little bit nerve-wracking, but again, I don't believe in this rally. Therefore, I have to bet against it. I just have to, because you got to take risks. You only live once. And, to try to scalp in these conditions would have been impossible. It would have been absolutely impossible. Unless you're in for like 30 seconds. I mean, these markets were extremely frustrating to watch. And it's cold outside, right? I will admit, the boardwalk, Virginia Beach right now does not look like that. We don't have snow, but it is really cold out. I think that was actually from a couple years back. I know it's snowing across the country. A lot of people are really cold right now, stuck in their homes. We were really cold too. So I was just stuck in the house all day watching this price action. If it was going to rally big going into next week, I feel like it would have happened today. Today would have been the start of that. You would have ended on a really positive note, and then you would have had some momentum to go into when we open on Tuesday. Because remember, the market's closed on Monday, day after Christmas. Market's closed, and I think the market's closed the following Monday, which is the day after New Year's Day. The banks are always looking for a reason to close. I think they're going to start closing on Juneteenth soon too. Maybe not though. We'll see. These markets, I mean, futures now are kind of turning a little bit. It's all very interesting. But again, I think it looks precarious. All right. I don't want to hold you guys up all day. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Let me know what you guys, think in the comment section down below. Do you have any forecasts going into next week? There's the other idea too, that inflation, I keep hearing calls for this, that inflation is going to, from the mainstream media, that inflation is we're going to still have a problem with it in the first half of 2023. Because if you look at the PCE index, I forgot to mention this, it almost does look like it peaked, and that we're sort of rolling over now, but nothing moves in a straight line up or down. So it is quite possible that we could start to edge up in the first few months of the new year. And, if that happens, then we have a long ways to go. The Fed is probably not going to cut rates anytime soon. I mean, 6 months from now, who really knows? But I don't think the Fed is ready to pivot or cut anytime soon. And I think the market's going to try to price this in going into the next week, going into the new year. So that's sort of my a bias. It's not a prediction. It's just my bias. And, I figured I would short this bullshit ass. I mean, if Santa came through, he brought us a stocking full of chopped onions. That's what Santa brought us today. No, I'm kidding. We've been very blessed this year. I feel blessed. I'm blessed by God. All of us are blessed. We need to count those blessings and try to give back in ways that we can. And I hope you guys have a fantastic Christmas. You won't see me probably until Monday night. I'm going to take the rest of this weekend off. I've got caroling to do tomorrow night for the Christmas Eve service. We're going to be spending time with family on Sunday. So you will see me probably Monday night. We'll do a little recap. I'll kind of maybe do a hopium stream on my trade that I'm holding over the weekend, and we'll just sort of talk about some of the data that might be coming out next week. So I'll leave it there. Follow me on Instagram @MillennialTrades, and as always, until next time, I'll see you on the next video.